everyone, it's me Cindy, and I am here real quick to do a real quick tutorial for you on my Vellum sequin pockets. And I'm going to scoot this down a bit. This is my sewing machine, and it is a very old sewing machine. I've had it for many years, and it's not the best. It's a Brother sewing machine, but I just bought it for like $89 at one time, and I hardly use it, and when I do use it, it decides it doesn't want to work for me. So let's hope it works for this tutorial. So first, what you will need is two vellum sides, two vellum pieces, sorry. And these are just 3x4 so that they can fit in my Project Life pages. And if you want to, you can back them onto a Project Life, sorry about moving you all. You can back them onto a Project Life card, because if you do double-sided, it doesn't bother me because every layout that I do is different. So I'll just put another Project Life card behind there, and if it shows through a bit, it's okay, because it really, once you embellish it and put sequins in it and put the image on there, you really can't really see much through the whole vellum, because the two vellum pieces together, you see, are quite thick. So these are just vellum pieces that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. So you can also find them, I believe, at Michael's, the pack of 8.5 by 11. And the 8.5 by 11, you do get three. You can get three 3x4 cards, or you can get one 4x6 and one 3x4. I believe. I think. I'm not too sure. I hardly ever really pay attention to the measurements, and I really should. So what you're going to do is you're going to put it in your sewing machine, and I always sew first because once you emboss it with the heat gun, it curls up, and I mean, you can flip it over and heat emboss the back, but I tried that and it just became really messy because the front was still melted, and it's so thin, you know, this is so thin, it'll melt your embossing powder really fast. So I find that once I sew it and then I stamp it, and I'll leave the top open, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a little bit. So I'm just going to do this really for tutorial purposes. So you're just going to put your needle down, and then you're just going to begin to sew. And I'm sorry for the noise. And then once you get close to the edge, I like to just do it by hand to make sure that I get all the way to the edge that I need. And then I put my needle down, and I'll just flip it. And then I'll just continue going. And I like to go slow because my sewing machine is crazy. And as I get closer to the end, I go by hand again to make sure that I can get all the way to that edge. And I am. And then I'll just flip it. And so basically, you're just going to do this for all your cards. And if you want, you can, let me just do this real quick. Okay, if you want, you can do a whole bunch of these and just have them on hand, because when you sew, and there, see, that one's done. So I'm just going to cut it. And let me see if you can see what it looks like. This is what it looks like. And I just leave the top open. So you can turn out a whole bunch of these. I have one already here that I'm going to use for the embossing. And then you can just keep them with your Project Life cards, and when you get ready to fill them with a certain color or emboss them, then you can pull them out and emboss them and fill them the way you want. These also make really cute bags for your Project Lifers, you know, your Instagrammers or whoever, just to send a little goodie to your pen pals or something. So really, really cute. So I am done with that part, and I will be back with the heat embossing part and the stamping in to show you all how I do that. So I will talk to y'all in a bit. Hey everyone, I am back. I am here with coming back with the little vellum pockets. So now it's time to embellish them, and I'm going to be showing y'all how I do that. First, you're going to need some Versamark or any kind of water stamp pad, I believe, as long as it'll hold your embossing powders, you know, when you heat them. I'll be using Recollections pink and blue. Pink and blue embossing powder. Oh my goodness. And then, of course, my vellum pocket that I just sewed in the previous video. And actually, I sewed... that's so funny. Okay. And it looks like this, and it is open still on the top. I will be using 2 sheets of paper to catch, because I don't have little, I need to buy little Tupperware tubs, you know, so that I can put my embossing powders in there to make it so much easier. So I will need 2 because I'm using 2 different colors. You don't want to mix colors. And the stamp that I will be using today is the Lawn Fawn Lucky Charm stamp, along with the little yellow bicycle. I'll be using some sentiments from in here. And this is actually going to be also for a challenge for RJ's Soul Music, RJ, or oh my goodness, I can't remember her name. But I'll go ahead and do the tutorial on that, and then but I will do a video for the challenge in itself separately. So first off, I am going to go ahead and get my block. I did not have my block here with me. Where is it? I'm going to get my stamp block here, and I'm going to go ahead and get my, and I use a mouse pad as a stamping mat. It's a whole lot cheaper. And we had a whole bunch of those. My husband used to be in the Army, so I had a whole bunch of those. So I decided to use one for my crafting. And so I'm going to go ahead and do the jar first. And I'm going to stamp it out. Make sure that everything's out of the way. All your strings and everything, or your strings, your thread is out of the way. And so I don't know if I'm in frame here. Yeah, I think I am. So I'm just going to put some of this on here. Okay, I think that we're good. And you want to cover that up. And then you want to stamp as close to the bottom edge that's already sewed as possible, because when you sew the top part, a lot of times the embossing will come off with your embossing powder. Will run through that, you know, the little foot, and it'll rub it off. So you want to make sure that you can get it as close to the bottom as possible. So there's that. And then I'll just put that over there for now. I'm going to get a sheet here, and we're doing this one in blue. And then you're just going to tap off that excess. If you have a small paintbrush, that'll work too, to get that the extra stuff off. So I'm just going to put that there. And then I'm going to come over here and just put my powder back in there. Okay, so there's that layer here. I'm going to go ahead and heat and emboss it. Or go ahead and heat it up. And it doesn't take that long. Okay. There's that one there. And then, sorry, I had to come get a wipe because I am going to use the same block. I need to clean off my stamp. And I just use wipies. But a lot of times wipies leave the little fuzzies behind, and I hate it. So I really need to invest in like a stamp cleaning pad or something. So that stamp is done, and now we are going to put the sentiment in the middle. And that's using this stamp set here. I'm going to try to make this as fast as possible. So we are going to go ahead and move that out of the way. I am going to, you see, look, I've got that stuff on my block, and you don't want to have anything on your block. Okay. Let me clean my mat off. Okay, and then this one says the little things. And I'm going to put these together on the same block. Okay. Now I'm going to get my ink again, or my Versamark, and just put that on there. And then I'm going to stamp this here. I want it close to the middle, I guess, right there. Okay. Now I just move that one away over there to the side. So now I'm going to get my clean paper and put that there. And I know that this is like blinding. I'm trying to figure out. There we go. Maybe that's better lighting. I don't know. And we're going to do this one in pink. So I'm just going to put the pink on top. And then tap off the excess. Very simple. It's not that bad. It's not that hard. It really isn't. Then I'm going to just heat emboss this on there. And you can use tweezers. I just try to keep my fingers away from it. Okay. That's that. And so this is how it looks. And actually, I think I did it inside out. This should have been the back part, but that's okay. I can make another one. This is just to kind of show you what, I'll use that one for my project life, and I can make another one. So then I'm going to get my sequins, which are, where do they go? I am going to use some clear, and then I'm going to use some pink. I thought I'd just do the pink and blue, but I think I'm going to do clear. And then you're just going to fill it. Hold it open, grab you a couple of sequins, and kind of just tap them in there. And then here are some pink, and these are kind of mixed in. The blue's kind of in there, but it's okay because I always use the blue and pink together. It doesn't bother me any. Some clear ones, and then I'm going to put my fingers in here and kind of just give it a shake so that they're not all stuck at the bottom. Okay, there we go. And there you have it. That's what they look like, and then I will be coming back to show you how I sew the top. So I'll be back. Okay, so I am back, and I'm sorry about this awful lighting that I have here. It's not the best. Let me see, maybe if I, no, see, that's awful. Okay, maybe that'll help a little bit better. Okay, so I am here, and I'm going to be sewing my vellum pocket shut. So you just basically put it back in your machine the way you did when you first started sewing. Put your needle all the way down and just sew straight across. So I'm just going to go really quickly, and then that's that. Get your scissors and cut, and there you have your little vellum pocket. And it should have gone this way, but I stamped it on the wrong side, but it's okay because I'll use this one for my project life. And then you're just going to trim off any excess, and I always pull it to the front, and then I get it as close as possible to where I need to trim. I don't know if you can see that. And there you go. So that's how you create a vellum pocket. So if you do try this, and you have Instagram, I would love to see you post, you know, pictures on Instagram, so you can hashtag me or tag me or whatever, so that I can see them, because I really, really think these are so cute, and I love, love, love them. I also got this idea from Happy Scrappy, and she is an Instagrammer. So if you guys have not checked her out, she's like amazing, amazing, talented. So yeah. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope that this tutorial helped. It's not the best tutorial, but hopefully soon in the future I can get a better setup so that these tutorials will be a whole lot better. So yeah, I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.